pass it over to you, James. What else we have?
Well, recently, did you hear about the Eagles head of security and what happened with
Oh yeah,
Big
man.
Dom DiSandro?
I seen that. I seen that clip. Kind of the dude on the side, kind of pushing the player. That's definitely a no though.
Yeah, he got involved with linebacker Dre Greenlaw during the recent matchup between the 49ers and the Eagles in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And this is most likely going to result in NFL action against the Eagles as well as their head of security, Big Dom.
Yeah.
Greenlaw laid the hit on wide receiver Devontae Smith out of bounds and slammed him down. Now, afterward, the head of security, Big Dom, got into a yelling match with a Niners linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
And he also actually leaned into the player and shoved him with two hands.
Oh, man.
In response to the contact, Greenlaw then kind of wiped his finger underneath Big Dom's nose.
Yeah.
And at first, it almost looks like a punch, but if you watch it from a few different angles, it's actually kind of humorous the way he's kind of saying, like, you don't touch me.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the response.
Definitely. I mean, that was definitely out of line with him because, I mean, man, you got to be glad he didn't take it a different way. You know, he could have took it way far, maybe tackled him, hurt him, because you don't mess with a player. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. Greenlaw's response was humorous, although when you see the shove from the glorified security guard, I didn't think it was funny at all.
Nah, definitely not. And the fact that it kind of, when I watched it the first time, I thought okay, he's kind of upset at the side, he's hitting them, the sideline people, but no, he initiated it first. He touched him, so it's like he have every right to, defend himself like, hey, you're not going to do that. I know y'all winning and everything, but y'all not going to do that. So,
do you think that it's fair for non-players to get directly involved in player-to-player team interactions?
Nah, I don't think it should. None of that should be involved. Like I said, you should just stay in your position, kind of stay on the side. If you're on the sideline, let the other people handle that, the refs, anybody. But when you get yourself involved with these players, man, a lot of people, you got to make sure their mindset is positive, because if it's not, you can get hurt. We've seen a lot of players that slam, helmets and flip tables and tackle, just a lot of stuff like that, and I know back in the day it was even worse, so he has to, keep this as a warning,
Well, yeah, players are not only players are allowed to touch other players.
Yeah.
And I think maybe aside from the refs, because the refs, you see them breaking fights up or
exactly,
pulling people off piles. That's just fine.
Yeah.
But to see the head of security, who's really more so the personal protector for the Eagles head coach,
right,
shoving a 49ers linebacker. And the major problem is the fact that they both got ejected from the game.
Yeah.
Now, Big Dom doesn't affect the game at all, really.
Yeah.
Until he does this and then gets Greenlaw thrown out.
Yeah. Because they kind of, I seen that they were talking and they kind of went back to him and said, like, nah, man, you got to go.
Yeah, it was Big Dom who physically contacted Greenlaw first and then screamed in his face. And all Greenlaw did was rightfully and playfully humiliate him in retaliation.
And, I think that's fair. Because, sometimes, they kind of just let those players kind of, like those Dom type dudes sit on the side after they did something. But, nah, they was like, nah, you put your hands on him, so it's going to be a fair, So
between these two guys, you think definitely it was Big Dom who was out of line?
Oh, yeah. Most definitely. I feel like Greenlaw, he couldn't have retaliated, but, it's fair that he did, so.
Yeah, after the game, 49ers head coach Kyle Shanahan had mentioned he was trying his hardest not to lose his mind.
Yeah.
He said, hopefully I didn't embarrass myself too bad. I just can't believe someone not involved in a football game can taunt our players like that and put their hands in our guy's face. And he did even more than that.
Right.
So maybe at that point he hadn't seen the video yet.
Yeah, man. Like I said, he's lucky that, he had composure on him. Like I said, definitely that's never a good thing. Y'all let us know how y'all feel about that play and kind of just Dom and that whole situation.
Yeah, the fans had cheered for Big Dom. The Eagles fans did as he headed out to the locker room. And the Eagles are saying that they can't do anything about this, which is the response that they gave to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at it like, now if this was a fan who did this, he would never be allowed back into the stadium.
Oh, yeah.
Any NFL stadium.
Exactly. But the fact that this man, you know, he's going to be in the next game and he's going to be able, you know, it's kind of like a privilege thing.
It was a late hit by Greenlaw, and it came after the whistle, so a penalty flag was thrown. He was already penalized for the hit, and he didn't need Big Dom to make it his own big NFL moment.
Right. And, like, stuff like this kind of makes it seem like, okay, this is okay to do. You know, they might start making this, but hopefully they get a stop to it before it even gets to that point.
So now the head of security really should know the rules regarding physical contact with players because, you know, this is what they do. They're the layer between the fan, the crazy NFL fan, and then, you know, the player who's just trying to do his job.
Exactly.
So why do you think Big Dom got involved on the play?
Like kind of what you said, that big moment, NFL moment, and at the same time, like I said, you know, the Eagles were losing, you know, and, you know, he was probably upset. You know how all those coaches, you know, they get upset, you know. So he, you know, when you're losing, you kind of talk trash, you know, a lot of things like that. But, like, I look at it like this. You're kind of, like, close to the coaches. You should kind of keep your composure, even if you are losing. And be professional. You know what I'm saying? Do your job right. Be professional. Don't be like a fan. That was kind of like a fan moment.
Yeah, this is definitely a safety issue, as well as one of practicality.
Yeah.
Afterward, Eagles head coach Nick Sirianni was asked if he apologized for the incident, and his response was, "Yeah, we just talked after the game. You're just always going through it. It was really more so to say to Kyle, we respect you guys and we respect your team." And my question is, does this sound like an apology to you?
No. Definitely not. That really kind of sounds like he was kind of avoiding the whole thing, kind of avoiding a deep, sincere apology. He could have been like, "Look, man, I apologize for, you know, doing that. I should have been professional." That would have been that. But they're kind of trying to work their way around it.
Now, this did not affect the game, but what if it did?
Oh, then I feel like if it did, man, then they definitely should be making some laws and penalty, you know, fines or something towards, you know, that team.
Like if the 49ers had to put in a green rookie linebacker and they really weren't ready to for this big moment, especially against the Eagles.
And then the game turned around and, yeah, man, that definitely, he would have got fined. You know, it would have been a lot going. You know, a lot of bad, negative things happening. So
this seems like one of those events that brings kind of awareness to player interactions on the sidelines, and then also with like members of the team. So I think we're going to see less of this moving forward, rather than more events like this. So.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah. This definitely probably was just, you know, it's definitely a fan moment.
But y'all, please let us know what you think in the comments.
Yeah, with that whole situation,
fair?
that's definitely out of line.
And then